Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namah Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Shrimade Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mugam Karoti Vachalam Pangam Langayate Girim Yitkarpatam Hammande Shri Guru Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Mesharam. Hare Krishna. So, I would like to welcome all of you for our study of Shri Bhagavad Gita. So, we are in the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Last week we did verse number 62. So, we will continue from there, from 63 onwards. I hope my screen is visible for all of you.
Visible, Prabhu, visible.
Yeah. So from 62 and 63, basically Krishna is speaking about this the stages of fall down due to uncontrolled mind. So if we have uncontrolled mind, how that is going to affect us, the fall down. So in the last class we discussed that Dhyayido Vishaya Pumsa Sangasteshu Pajayade Sangat Sanjayade Kama Kamat Krodho Bhi Jayade. So we have already discussed, while we contemplate on the sense objects, what will happen? We develop an attachment to that, right? Then that attachment will develop lust. Lust means uncontrollable desire. Initially it is only an attachment, but lust is, the higher version of attachment. Means without that, or we want that, in that, we will come to that stage. Without that I cannot live in that way. So once when we start contemplating on the sense objects, we develop some attachment to that, and from that attachment lust develops, and from the lust kamat krodho bhi jayade, from the lust anger develops. How the anger is coming? Because if the lust is unfulfilled, then will become naturally anger. So that's the point. Now next continuation of this verse. This is a continuation, by the way. 63. Krodhat. So we have, Krishna said up to anger, right? Up to krodho. So contemplation, then attachment, then kama, lust, and krodha, anger. So from krodha what will happen? He is saying, krodhat bhavati sammohat. Okay, you can recite, follow me. Someone can recite, follow me line by line.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Krodhat, krodhat bhavati sammoha.
Krodhat bhavati sammoha.
Sammohat smriti vibhramaha.
Sammohat smriti vibhramaha.
Smriti bhramshat buddhi nasho.
Smriti bhramshat buddhi nasho.
Buddhi nashat pranashyati.
Buddhi nashat pranashyati.
Please read the translation also.
Hare Krishna. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. From anger, complete delusion arises, and from delusion, bewilderment of memory. When memory is bewildered, intelligence is lost. And when intelligence is lost, one falls down again into the material pool. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. So krodhat bhavati samoha. So once we are from anger, what is happening? The next stage. Krodhat bhavati samoha. Samoha means delusion. So delusion is like loss. Delusion means loss of discrimination of what should and what should not be done. So that is delusion basically. So when we become angry, what will happen is that the next stage is samoha. Then we don't know what is right, what is wrong. Correct? Have you experienced this? have you?
Yes,
Have
Prabhu.
you? Always
Yes,
we
very
are
much.
experiencing. Yeah, we are experiencing the same, because when we are angry, completely angry, then we don't know what to do, and we don't know what we are doing actually. We may do something which is wrong also, right? So that is delusion, means discrimination. That discriminatory power of what to be done, what not to be done will be going away from us. Now, next, samohad, from that delusion, from that state of not understanding what to be done, what not to be done, what will happen is smriti vibramaha. Smriti vibramaha means bewilderment of memory. Bewilderment of memory means it is next stage of samoha. Samoha is the state wherein we don't know what to do. Bewilderment of memory means we are completely lost. We are completely lost in the sense that we don't know, we are absolutely confused in that state. That state will come. That's next of samoha. Smriti vibramaha. Our memory or our intelligence is completely, or not intelligence, our memory in the sense, we don't remember actually what is what in that particular state. Yeah. Smriti Brahmshad Buddhi Nasho. Now, once the memory is bewildered, means we don't know, we don't remember what has happened before, what will be happening. We are completely lost in that state. Now what is happening? Smriti Brahmshad Buddhi Nasho. Buddhi Nasho means the next stage. Buddhi Nasho is like complete loss of our discriminatory power. See, the delusion and intelligence, there is subtle. Here, delusion arises, bewilderment of memory, and intelligence is lost. We may think that it is all same, but there is some subtle difference. What is the difference? Difference is in the intensity. So initially, it is only kind of, not if you are very angry. Initially, what will happen? We don't know what to act, what to do in that state. And when it increases, the next stage is like we are completely forgotten what has happened what has happened before or what will be happening. So like memory is like shunted that particular time. And for example, if we are angry and we are shouting at somebody, we are forgetting that that person would have done something good for us in the previous, or continuously that person will be doing good for us, but we are forgetting everything. Our memory is lost, like we are zero. So we are only finding that problem now. We forgot everything. So that's the state. So that is the state of complete bewilderment of the memory. And then what will happen? Then smriti brahmshat buddhi nasho. Buddhi nasha means fully we are that discrimination, the power of discrimination to understand what is good and what is bad is completely lost. So delusion is the first stage, and when it comes to the third stage, which is smriti brahmshat buddhi nasho, means completely we are lost. In the sense, we don't know exactly, we don't know what is good, what is bad. In the sense, we are completely lost in that state. And buddhi nashat, what will happen? Because when the buddhi is lost, one falls down again. Means, if we are completely lost, in the sense, our intelligence is completely lost, then definitely we will not be doing what is required to be done. We will be doing something wrong maybe. We don't know what we are doing completely. Then it will definitely bring us back to this material plane. In the sense, we will not be able to cross over this material ocean. So we will be pulled back again. So this is very, very, very difficult stage. So everything starts from contemplation. Everything started from contemplation. So it's a stage. So from contemplation, contemplation on the sense objects. Then there is an attachment to it. Then there is attachment, is the intensity of attachment is increasing, it is becoming lust, means we are, that intense desire comes. And when the desire is not fulfilled, or some issue with the, with the lust, in the sense, we are not able to get it, then we are angry. And during that stage, what will happen? We are in the state of that losing the discriminative power, that is delusion. And it leads to complete bewilderment of memory. We don't remember the past, future, nothing. We are completely, in a stagnant state. And finally, what will happen? Our intelligence is completely lost. Means the complete discriminatory power is lost. Then we will do whatever we, at that particular state, what our mind says we will do. And what will happen? The result is fall down. Means we are again in this pull back in this material plane. So this is what is happening for all of us, dear devotees. Anything in this world, initially we contemplate on it, then we develop some attachment, then it becomes a lust, then in between, if we are not getting it, we will be angry and completely losing delusion, then memory bewilderment, and finally intelligence loss. Then we don't know what we are doing. Completely we will be lost. The zero discrimination, that means 100% lost, in the sense zero discrimination of what is good and bad. Then we will do bad things thinking that it is good, like what all of us were doing. We are thinking that I am this body and I am, for sense gratification is the goal of life. Thinking that we are doing so many things. We are completely in delusion. Completely our intelligence is lost. And we fall back in the material pool, means again we are in this Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi Chakra, we are going in this way, in that circle, in that cycle basically. So Srila Rupa Goswami says here, Srila Prabhupada's purport, Prapanchikataya buddhya hari sambandhi vastunaha mumukshubi parityago vairagyam phalgu katyate. So, meaning is that by development of Krishna consciousness, one can know that everything has its use in the service of the Lord. Those are without knowledge of Krishna consciousness artificially try to avoid material objects, and as a result, although they desire liberation from material bondage, they do not attain to the perfect stage of renunciation. Their so-called renunciation is falgu, or less important. This is the meaning. So first thing is that prapanchikataya buddhya hari sambandhi vastunaha. Actually speaking, by development of Krishna consciousness, if we are having that, if we are in the state of, if we are having Krishna consciousness, if we are in Krishna consciousness, then we know what to be done. In the sense, we know how to use the things of this world in the service of the Lord. Hari sambandhi vastunaha. So means everything has some use in the service of the Lord. Even for the material objects of this world, we can use in the service of the Lord. Anything you take, material object like flower, we can offer it to Krishna. Food, we can offer it to Krishna. Fruits, we can offer it to Krishna. So those are material objects, but we are able to offer it in the service of Krishna. And other things like our skills, we can use in the service of Krishna. And anything, money, we can use in the service of Krishna. So like that. Hari sambandhi vastunaha. So how we can do that? By only developing Krishna consciousness. If not, what will happen? Or if we try to artificially, or without knowledge of Krishna consciousness, artificially if we try to avoid objects, like we say, for example, we say, if you are saying like, oh, this particular thing will get, I will get attached to something or this thing, so I don't use it. I will not touch it. It's like, we are trying to artificially trying to avoid the material objects, and what will happen, there is no, actually we are not breaking the material bondage actually. Yeah, it is called as vairagyam falgu katyate, means that vairagya or that kind of renunciation is falgu. Falgu means false or maybe less important, or it is false or fake renunciation. So fake renunciation, see, so anything we are renouncing, if it is not from the heart, then it's in falgu or in a false renunciation, because our attachment to that particular object will be there always inside the heart. Unless we uproot that attachment in the heart to particular sense, as a particular object of our sense gratification, then until that point we will not be we will not be doing proper renunciation. So proper renunciation or vairagya can be only possible if we develop Krishna consciousness. How? Why? Because is that we are using everything in the service of Krishna. We are not artificially trying to avoid anything, or we are artificially not trying to be renunciants, but at the same time we are using everything in the service of Krishna. That is the right way of doing it. Prabhupada says. On the other hand, a person in Krishna consciousness knows how to use everything in the service of the Lord. Therefore, he does not become a victim of material consciousness. So already we discussed about this. Then he gives an example. For example, for an impersonalist, the Lord or the Absolute being impersonal cannot eat, whereas an impersonalist try to avoid good eatables. A devotee knows that Krishna is supreme enjoyer and that he eats all that is offered to him in devotion. So after offering good eatables to the Lord, the devotee takes the remnants as called prasadam. Thus everything becomes spiritualized and there is no danger of downfall. So the impersonalists, they sometimes they are doing falgu vairagya most of the times, because they don't have any conception of having Krishna having a form, and Krishna will, if you are offering something to Krishna, he will eat. That conception they don't have. So they don't do that. So they say that, maybe sometimes they say, this food if I eat, I will get attached to it. I will get bound. That, the karma bandhana will be there. But what devotees does? Devotees are intelligent. They are not avoiding their food. What they are doing is they are offering the nice eatables to Krishna as bhoga and receiving mercy as prasadam after offering to Krishna. That prasadam the devotees are taking. So what is happening? The activity, we are not changing the activity. We are spiritualizing the activity. This is what is happening. So for us then, for devotees there is no fall down, because we are using everything in the service of Krishna. We are trying to spiritualize all our activity. But if we are artificially trying to do this, if you are artificially trying to renounce, or if you are artificially trying to avoid something, maybe for some particular time we will be able to control it. After that, we are again back to the square. Why? Because that sense gratification or the vasanas in our heart, unless and until it is not uprooted, it will be always there. So that is the point. But if we are using everything in the service of Krishna, what will happen? Naturally, we will, lose the taste for sense gratification, and we will be more inclined to do everything in the service of Krishna. So our consciousness gradually changes. So this is the actual renunciation, not the other way. So Prabhupada says, the devotees take prasadam in Krishna consciousness, whereas the non-devotees rejects it as material. The impersonalist therefore cannot enjoy life due to artificial renunciation, and for this reason a slight agitation of the minds pulls him down again to the material existence. Though the reason why there is a chance for fall down for the artificial renunciant is that because it's not natural for them. See, the senses, to enjoy, the enjoying tendency, ananda, that enjoying tendency is already there. It's a part of soul's nature. Soul is having the natural tendency of enjoying. That enjoyment is not material enjoyment, it's actually spiritual enjoyment, in the sense when we get connected to Krishna, when we are serving Krishna, that kind of enjoyment. But that feature of enjoyment potency is there in each and every jivatmas. So if you are trying to, curb it, okay, just before that, because of that enjoying propensity, what is happening in this world, we are not able to we are not getting the spiritual enjoyment. That is why we are compromising on the material enjoyment. This is what is what is happening for all of us, what has happened for all of us. We are compromising. Of course, that enjoyment propensity is there, but instead of using that in the service of Krishna, because of the tamogun rajogun, we are using that propensity of enjoyment in the things of this world, and this is what is happening, and we are getting attached to that. So we are actually doing false enjoyment. False enjoyment is the enjoyment of this world. So that's the state for all of us in this world, in this material world. Now, when the same person is trying to artificially cut down that kind of tendency, what is happening is that in the heart, that vasana is still there, but artificially we are trying to stay away. So what will happen is that a small agitation will break all our renunciation, can break. So instead of that, when we start using, or when we do everything in Krishna consciousness, naturally what will happen, the two things are happening. Naturally our taste in we get a higher taste in spiritual things, spiritual activities. That's one thing. Then the lower taste will slowly, gradually go away from us. Secondly, our purification is happening by doing spiritual activities. So then what is happening by purification? Those tendencies in the heart is getting uprooted. Yeah, this is what is happening. So two effects for bhakti. One is we get a higher taste, so lower taste, our focus on the lower taste will naturally go. Second is that our purification happens, and that will gradually uproot all the subtle desires in our heart. But if you are artificially renouncing, that uprooting of the subtle desires will not happen. It's not happening because artificially we are trying to control our senses. So that's not a good idea. That's what Prabhupada says. It's not a good idea. Not only that, that will bring us again into the pool of material existence. So it is said that such a soul, even though rising up to the point of liberation, falls down again due to his not having support in devotional service. So that's the point. So devotional service or Krishna consciousness is essential. Otherwise, whatever renunciation we are saying will be only temporary. That's the point. Okay. Now, next verse, 64. Ragadvesha vimuktaistu. Please recite.
Ragasdvesha vimuktaistu
Vishayanindriyaishcharan.
Vishayanindriyaischaran.
Yeah. Atma vashyir vidheyatma.
Atma vashyirvideyatma
Prasadam adhigacchati.
prasadam adhigacchati. Hare Krishna. Can I read, Prabhu?
Yeah, someone else can read, Mataji.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, Prabhu.
Yeah,
Hare
please.
Krishna, Prabhuji. But a person free from all attachment and aversion and able to control his senses through regulative principles of freedom can obtain the complete mercy of the Lord. Hare Krishna.
This is nice verse, very beautiful verse. Raga dvesha vimuktaistu vishayan indriyascharan. So one who is free from raga. Raga means attachment. And dvesha means aversion. So two opposites. One is attachment and one aversion. So here Krishna says one who is free from both attachment and aversion. So here the attachment is the attachment to the material objects. Aversion is also aversion from the material objects. Right? So that is what Krishna is saying. So both these extremes are not good. One is complete attachment to material objects. One is completely aversion, kind of aversion from the material objects. So Krishna is saying one who is free from that raga and dvesha, and instead of that engaging his senses in the sense objects with a controlled mind or regulative principles of freedom, or vidheyatma, by controlled mind or regulative principles in the sense, as per the scriptural injunctions, we are using our senses in the sense objects, that such person will attain peace or prasada or mercy of the Lord. So what is the meaning of it? Basically, Krishna is saying that instead of being, first of all, attachment, complete attachment or complete dvesha from the material objects is not the good idea. Instead of that, use the senses and uses the sense objects, uses the senses in the sense objects with a proper, or in a proper way, in the sense as per the scriptural injunction, vidheyatma, then you will be attaining mercy of the Lord, prasada, adhigacchati. So these are the answers for Arjuna's fourth question. I hope all of you remember. How does he walk? How does he walk? So how does he respond to the sense objects, right? That is being answered here from 64th verse onwards. Yeah. So Srila Prabhupada mentions in the purport, it is already explained that one may externally control the senses by some artificial process, but unless the senses are engaged in the service, transcendental service of the Lord, there is every chance of fall. So we already discussed in detail about this. Although the person is full Krishna consciousness, all the person in full Krishna consciousness may be on a sensual plane, because of his being Krishna conscious, he has no attachment to sensual activities. So already we mentioned this, right? When we start practicing, when we are in Krishna consciousness, our taste for the other things, sensual activities, will go away. The Krishna conscious person is concerned only with the satisfaction of Krishna and nothing else. Therefore he is transcendental to all attachment and detachment. So a Krishna conscious person or a devotee, for him or her, he is only thinking about how to satisfy Krishna and not thinking about my satisfaction, our own satisfaction, our own pleasure, our own enjoyment. So devotees are always concerned how to serve Krishna. That's the mood, right approach, right mood actually. So we may get some pleasure by serving Krishna, but we are not serving Krishna for getting that pleasure. See, that's the difference. There is a difference. Bhakti means it is selfless, should be selfless. Anya bilashida shunyam, jnana karmadhi anavridam, anukuliyana krishnanushilanam. Bhakti should be selfless. So selflessness means we are serving our beloved without any expectation, for the pleasure of that person whom we are serving. That is actual service. So that is love. So bhakti is like that. Bhakti is like, so we serve Krishna not for our enjoyment, but for his pleasure. However, when we do that, we may get some enjoyment, but we are not doing that service for getting that enjoyment. It will come naturally, and we accept it, and we are showing gratitude to Krishna for that also. We are not thinking that, no, this is my aim. So that is different. So these are subtle points, but we can understand it. Now, all other attachments will go away, by the way, material attachment. If Krishna wants, the devotee can do anything which is ordinarily undesirable. And if Krishna does not want, he shall not do that which he would have ordinarily done for his own satisfaction. So, same thing. For Krishna, if something we are not desiring, but for Krishna's pleasure, we are ready to do it. So, otherwise also, vice versa also. Because our concern or our only aim, or as a devotee, devotee's aim is always only to serve or make Krishna happy. So therefore, to act or not act is within his control, because he acts only under the direction of Krishna. So devotees are always working, they are always acting under the direction of Krishna. This consciousness is the causeless mercy of the Lord, which the devotee can achieve in spite of being attached to sensual platform. So this kind of consciousness we also can attain by the mercy of Krishna. The devotee can achieve it, but it's not because of our any kind of sadhana or austerity. It is our sincerity in the practice, our sincerity in the process, our faith in the process, and with that, if we are doing it, then Krishna will shower mercy on us, causeless mercy, and we will develop this consciousness, and we will be completely detached from all the sense gratification of this world. So like that. So it's a prasada, or it's a mercy of Krishna. Okay, next verse 65. Prasade sarva dukkhanam hanir asyopajay. Oh, sorry, you can follow me. Prasade sarva dukkhanam.
Prasade sarva dukkhanam
Hanir asyopajayate.
hanir asyopajayate
Prasanna chetaso hyasu.
prasanna cheta hayasu
Buddhi paryavatishtate.
buddhi paryavatishtate. Hare Krishna.
Please read.
For one thus satisfied in Krishna consciousness, the threefold miseries of material existence exist no longer. In such satisfied consciousness, one's intelligence is soon well established. Hare Krishna.
So for one, continuation of the previous verse, Krishna is saying, so one who is satisfied in Krishna consciousness, for that person, the threefold miseries of material existence exist no longer. What are the threefold miseries? Threefold miseries are Adi Baudiga Klesha, Adi Atmika Klesha, Adi Daivika Klesha. What is Adi Baudiga Klesha? Miseries caused by other living entities. And what is Adhyatmika Klesha? The miseries caused by our body and mind. And what is Adi Daivika Klesha? It is the miseries caused by the natural disturbance, natural calamities or whatever. Daiva, Adi Deva. So all these kind of miseries, we will be free from that, because we are always absorbed in Krishna consciousness. So all these miseries will not affect them. That is the state of a devotee, pure devotee. And that's the state of Siddha Prajna, by the way. Krishna is speaking about Siddha Prajna, or a pure devotee. In such satisfied consciousness, one's intelligence is soon well established. So intelligence will be completely back to track. So then intelligence will become sharp in that state. Next verse. Nasti buddhir ayuktasya.
नास्ति बुद्धिरयुक्तस्य
न चायुक्तस्य भावना.
न चायुक्तस्य भावना
न चाभावयता शांतिर.
न चाभावयता शांतिर
अशांतस्य कुतः सुखम्.
अशांतस्य कुतः सुखम्. The one who is not connected with the Supreme, that is Krishna consciousness, can have transcendental intelligence nor steady mind, without which there is no possibility of peace. And how can there be any happiness without peace? Hare Krishna.
So this is very nice, very beautiful verse. Krishna is saying, no happiness or peace without connecting to the Supreme. That is the meaning of this verse. Nasti buddhir ayuttasya means one who is not connected with Krishna, one who is not connected with the Supreme Lord, na chayuktasya bhavana, can never or neither be, or we can say, can have neither fixed intelligence nor a steady mind. So, one more time I will say, nasti buddhir ayuktasya na chayuktasya bhavana means, first two lines, one who is not connected with the Supreme Lord can have neither good intelligence nor a steady mind. So, if we really want to have a fixed, steady intelligence and steady mind, we should connect with Krishna. And third line says, na chaba vayata shantir. And without having steady mind, what is the peace? There is no peace. There is no shanti. Then finally he says, ashantasya kuta sukham. Without having peace, shanti, how can there be any happiness? Nice. Krishna is asking, telling Arjuna and asking also. If one is not connected with the Supreme, can neither have fixed intelligence, nor he'll be having a steady mind. Without a proper steady mind, how can be there is peace, and without peace, how can there be happiness? So that is Krishna's. That's what Krishna is telling Arjuna. Srila Prabhupada says in the purport, unless one is Krishna conscious, unless one is in Krishna consciousness, there is no possibility of peace. So, dear devotees, if we really want a peace of mind, or we say peace like, then we say, no, we have a peace of mind. Oh, thoda shanti chahiye. We say. Shanti will come only if we are practicing bhakti. Otherwise, no shanti. It will be always ashanti. Because everything in this world is giving us problems only. Only bhakti is, helping us to tolerate the situation and move forward. And finally, we will be coming out of this world, going out of this world also. That is the ultimate result of it. So, there is no other formula for getting peace than being in Krishna consciousness or being a devotee. So, that's the point. Prabhupada says, it is confirmed in the 5th chapter, 529. Which is the verse? Who knows? Oh, maybe we have not reached 5th chapter, but some of you would know.
Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Bhoktaram yajñatavasam sarvalokekam maheshwaram suhridam sarvabhudanam nyatva mam shanti mrichyati. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Bhoktaram yajna tapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram. So, Krishna is saying, this is the 5th chapter, we will study there. Krishna is saying that this is a peace formula given by Krishna. Bhoktaram yajna tapasam means understanding that Krishna is the Bhokta, or he is the supreme enjoyer. Sarvaloka maheshwaram, who is the proprietor and owner of everything. Then, Suhurdam Sarvabhudanam, understanding that Krishna is the best friend for all the living entities. Jnatva mam shanti gacchati. So, those who are understanding these three things, understanding Krishna is the supreme enjoyer, it's not me, it's Krishna. And secondly, or everything has to be done for Krishna's pleasure. That's first. Second is understanding that Krishna is the proprietor and owner of everything. Third is that understanding that Krishna is the supreme well-wisher, supreme friend, or we can say the best friend for Suhurdam Sarvabhudanam, the best friend for all living entities. by understanding these three things, Jnatva Shantim means that the person attains peace. So this is the peace formula. Anyway, coming to this point, unless one is in Krishna consciousness, there is no peace of mind. There is no possibility of peace. So it is confirmed in the 5th chapter 529 that when one understands that Krishna is the only enjoyer of all good results of the sacrifice and penance, that is what Bhoktaram Davasam. Next, that he is the proprietor of all universal manifestation, that is Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. And third, and he is the real friend of all living entities, Surdam Sarvabhudanam. Understanding these three things, then only can one have real peace. And therefore, if one is not in Krishna consciousness or one is not a devotee, there cannot be a final goal for the mind. The mind will be always disturbed. Disturbance is due to want of an ultimate goal, and one is certain that Krishna is the enjoyer, proprietor and friend of everyone and everything, then one can with a steady mind bring about peace. So understanding all these principles, because our problem is that our disturbance is that we don't know the goal. So once we understand the goal, then we will be in peace. So therefore, one who is engaged in the relationship with Krishna is certainly always in one who is without a relationship with Krishna is certainly always in distress and is without peace. But if one is in relationship with Krishna, then there is always peace. However much he may make a show of peace and spiritual advancement in the life. So Prabhupada is saying that unless we engage in relationship with Krishna, means unless we serve Krishna in that relationship, understanding our connection with Krishna, we will not be having any peace of mind. We may say that we are peaceful, but it is not the true. Like we ask somebody, how are you? Oh, very good, very nice. What good? What nice? Next moment that person is becoming angry. The next moment he is changing his mood. Why? If everything is good, then he will not change the mood. Right? So the never ever can become peace. We'll never get peace if we are not devotees. But if we are devotees, they are always in a different plane. Their thought process, their activities, their consciousness is completely in Krishna. So for them, anything happening here, material world, whatever it is, they are tolerating it and moving forward because they are having some higher taste. Yeah. So Krishna consciousness is a self-manifested peaceful condition which can be achieved only in relationship with Krishna. So this Krishna consciousness or bhakti is a self-manifested peaceful condition. This is a formula Prabhupada is saying, and can be achieved only by in relationship with Krishna. So if we are connected with Krishna, we will be peaceful. If you are detached from Krishna, then we will not be peaceful. Whatever happiness, so-called happiness we say of this world, nothing is going to help. Nothing is giving us proper happiness. We may get some temporary chapala sukha, temporary happiness for some time, some sense gratification, but that's not ultimate happiness. Ultimate happiness is the permanent happiness, which we only get when the soul is happy, when the soul is satisfied. And soul can be only satisfied by serving the super soul or serving Krishna. There is no other way. There is no other way of becoming happy. So that is the real happiness, and that is our goal of life. Not to get that happiness, it will naturally come when we serve Krishna, when we develop that mood of service. So that can be attained. So we will be permanently peaceful. Okay, so nice. So we have covered few verses today, 3-4 verses today. So I am stopping here now at the verse number 66. Krishna willing, we will continue from 67 next class. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Sachidanandan Shri Gaura Hari ki jai, Srila Gurudev ki jai, Gaura Premanande. Thank you.